Welcome to Mama Cat's home. Today I'm going to be trying something a little bit different. I'm going to be sharing with you the meal prep and freezer cooking that we did, but I'm going to be doing a voiceover because I wanted to try it. First thing I'm showing you is how that we had set ourselves up for success by having our kitchen completely cleaned and our list made of all the things we wanted to do. Dishwasher was empty. Everything was prepared for us, and so we're going to get started. First, we're going to grill some chicken and steak, and I'll be showing you the different things I put in for the marinade, and I let them marinate for a little while before we actually put them on the grill. But this is just the way we do it. It's very yummy. I put similar things for the chicken as I do for the steak, but there are some different things like steak sauce in the steak season or marinade, and different things like that, but mainly it's the same thing. The smallest pan you see here is the one for the actual for the chicken. I'm not too good at this voiceover thing, but yeah, this is just the way we marinate our things, and this is the way we like to do it. And it tastes really, really good. I had actually forgot to put this in for the steak. Jeff reminded me. What we're going to be using this for is salads for the next couple of weeks, and the way we eat them is we will grill it and then we'll just freeze it, and whenever we take it out we can just heat it up simply in the microwave or in the oven or even on the stovetop. We got these steaks from Sam's. We had never gotten this kind before, but they turned out really good. We did try them. Had to, you know. The next thing I'm doing is just cutting up a bunch of onion. Part of this onion you will see that I put in bags with ground beef that you'll see me cooking or us cooking in a little while. For stroganoff and other parts of it, I am going to be using in a meatloaf that you'll see, and the rest of it I'm just going to freeze. That way I can just break off however much I want, and it's already prepared. Just a little shortcut for you. Onion freezes well. I'm using my little sharper image thing. It works really good, but it's sometimes annoying. I got it from Bed Bath & Beyond. I think it was like $17 or something, and I had a coupon. I really like it for cutting different things. It makes it go a lot faster, but a lot of times I forget I have it, and I just go for the knife and use that. It seems just like the thing I normally do. Okay, now this is how I'm going to be doing my meatloaf. I sometimes change it up, but most of the time it's the same things: onion, tomato paste, Worcestershire or Worcester, or however you say it, sauce, some breadcrumbs, and some seasoning. I'm going to be using the Grill Mate seasoning this time, but sometimes I just put salt and pepper. I've also just put steak sauce in there. Sometimes I wrap it in bacon, but I didn't do that this time. I freeze my tomato paste in these little packets. If you find them in these packets, it freezes really well. Oh, and I forgot my egg. I'm sorry, I didn't tell you that part. I always need an egg for binder. My husband actually didn't think the bowl would be big enough, but it was. And all I do is just squish it down into the pan, put a lid that goes with the pan on it, and put some saran wrap on it and freeze it. Now, if I was going to freeze it longer than a couple of weeks, I would probably not do it this way. I would probably freeze it, then take it out and either put it in a freezer bag, or I would put it in some freezer paper, which we will be using freezer paper later. But I just do it like this. If it's only a couple of weeks, I'm going to be cooking this next week, so it's not a big deal to do it this way. As long as you don't let the air in it, it won't get freezer burnt, and a couple of layers of saran wrap will be great. And that's my anti-bac. I get that from Grow Collaborative. If you'd like to know anything about that, the link's down below. This is where we're cooking up a lot of ground beef. There are several meals we're going to be doing with this. We're going to be doing chili, stroganoff, spaghetti, lazy man lasagna, which I'm going to be doing, some freezer burritos or tacos or whatever you want to call them. You'll be seeing those as well. I've actually done those before on my channel. I think I have one for the lazy man lasagna on here, but I'm not sure. If I don't, you'll see how I do it in this video. Let's see, what else are we doing with that? Did I say chili? I don't know. Either way, there's going to be a lot of meals cooked with this ground beef, and we ended up with 2 packets that are mysteries. We don't know what we're going to do with them yet, but we'll figure it out. They're already cooked. It'll make a quick meal. Okay, that's the way the chicken turned out. Doesn't it look so good? And all I'm going to do is just put it in a freezer bag and put it in the freezer. It will not stick together as long as you lay it flat to let it freeze. You'll have no problems. Okay, that was supposed to be showing you the steak, but I didn't do too well with that part, but that's okay. You see it now. And we're going to be just wrapping it in freezer paper. We're going to have 1 steak for 2 salads, and me and my husband will eat the salads most likely whenever our son is at work, or we'll have 2 packs of the steak taken out, and my son can eat a salad as well, and we'll just have a little extra steak on there. But one of the steaks is big enough for both of us to have a really good salad, and that means that 1 pack of meat, which was, I think the steak was $10 or $12, I'm not sure, but that will feed us 6 times, which is 12 meals, or 12 meals anyway, because we just eat salads for a meal sometimes. It's really good with steak on top or chicken. And if you notice, I'm wearing gloves. I don't normally do that when I'm cooking, but I did have a mishap early on in this filming. You didn't see it because I didn't record it because I wasn't recording, but I dropped one of my favorite bowls, one of my little Pyrex bowls. It was so upsetting, and I was not wearing shoes, so my husband had to come in and rescue me. And yeah, it was a mess, a really big mess. It's like it exploded all over the kitchen. Okay, here is where I am going ahead and writing the different things that I'm going to be using this ground beef for on the bags. Another little tip, always write what you are putting it up for, that way you don't forget. Now, the 2 things that are mysteries, I didn't write on it because I don't know what they're for yet. They could be for stroganoff, they could be for spaghetti, chili, they could be for tacos, whatever, I don't know. We'll see. These little things I got from Amazon, and I am spoiled to them. You'll see later on where I tried to put onions in a bag different ways, and without these because they were dirty at the time, and it was a mess. But it's okay. I didn't destroy the whole world when I was doing it. It just was a little bit of a crazy time. But yeah, these little things are really awesome. If you don't have anyone else, there's your extra hand. They do wibble wobble a little bit, but they're fine. And over there, my husband is cooking noodles, I think. I'm not sure. I was putting up the ground beef into the little packets. And yes, another pair of gloves, because I didn't want to take a chance of, which I did put a Band-Aid on, and yes, I did put a finger cover on that, like the little, it's like a finger glove. I don't know what you'd call it, but anyway, they're in the medical section at the pharmacy part of the stores. Yeah, that's where they are, near Band-Aids and stuff. But I just wanted to make sure, because of my own sanity, that nothing happened. And I'm showing you here where I did stroganoff, and I thought I sped this up, but I guess I didn't, and I'm not sure what happened. But I'm putting the onions in with the ground beef for the stroganoff, and the reason why I'm doing that is because I can just throw it in the pan, throw in the mushrooms, because it doesn't take long to cook that, and it will be such a quick meal. And I know it doesn't take long to cook ground beef, but even 10 or 15 minutes will help. And one of the main reasons we're doing this right now is we're trying new things. We've done this before, but we're trying some new things with our house, like trying to declutter, trying to get things straightened out. And we just need the time. And if we can spend a few hours doing this one day, we can spend that other time on every other day doing things we need to do to make our house better to live in. Plus, my niece and nephews are coming, and we want to have hearty, healthy meals. Meal prep is so fabulous because you will always have an easy, quick meal, and you don't have to go to the restaurant. You don't have to go through the drive-thru. And you don't eat junk. You're eating something decent. So, prepping, if you have the time on a weekend, is just smart, I think. Plus, it's cheaper. It's so much cheaper.
And you forever I'll follow. You'll be my holy ground. You forever I'll follow. In immortality, I can see you and me.
I always try to get as much air out if I'm not using my vacuum sealer. I do have a food saver machine, but if it's not going to be in the freezer very long, I don't use that because the bags are more expensive. Now, if I was going to have this in the freezer for a few weeks, for a few months or something, I would definitely use my food saver. But since it's only going to be in there for 2 weeks or so, I'm not going to worry about it. We thought that one needed a little bit more. He was asking me just then what I thought about the rice. We were also prepping some rice to make the freezer burritos or tacos or whatever you want to call them. I did do it a little bit different this time. I usually put refried beans in, but my son did not want refried beans, so I just used the black beans. And he's the one that mostly eats them anyway. So I did do it a little bit different just so he would be happier with it. And my husband said he wants it like that from now on. So I've got to remember how I did it. Maybe we won't buy refried beans anymore if people don't want it. Or I won't make them. Because we do buy them in the can sometimes.
Suck the life right out of my veins when you spoke my name. Got the kind of thing going that tips the scales. Yeah, you keep me sane.
I made a bit of a mess, but puppies love treats, right?
I'll be the blue inside your eyes. Your crazy loving keeps me paralyzed. Oh, this is what it feels like. Oh, this is what it feels like. Oh, this is what it feels like.
I guess I did speed up part of it. Just not all of it. What is going on? Another thing is, you see how that's smoking. You know it's hot because we just finished cooking it. Make sure you let it cool off before you put it in the freezer, because if you don't, it will thaw some of your other things. It could make you have some problems in your freezer. So don't put it in piping hot. Make sure you let it cool off. And we did do that. We just put the things in the, put it to the side and let it cool before he stuck it in the freezer. I think my husband just got home because the dog started barking, so we may hear him in a moment. But I honestly don't know how to turn this off and turn it back on. I'm still learning, so please excuse me. Okay, here is where I am separating some of the meat for the Lazy Man lasagna and for the freezer tacos or freezer burritos, whatever you want to call them. So I have each one in a bowl, and now I'm putting the rice with the tomatoes. It's like a rotel I had cooked the rice with. I'm putting that in there for the tacos or burritos or whatever you want to call them. Anyways, that is just ground beef with no seasoning yet, brown rice, and the rotel so far. I will be putting the rest in soon. I also put diced green chilies in the, like I said, the black beans, but I do rinse those. Make sure you rinse them if you get them in the can. If you cook them yourself, you just want to drain them, but if you get them in the can, rinse them off. This is my homemade taco seasoning. I do have a video about how I do this. If I can remember, I'll link it in the iCards up above, but I don't always remember. But it is fairly recent, in the last few months. I believe I did one, and there's an old one where I was doing a live stream forever ago that I had one on. And this is where I'm just putting them together. It's just those things you saw, plus some, I think it's Colby Jack cheese. I believe that's what it is. It's from Costco. I had a hard time with these tortillas. They wanted to stick together and fall apart, and they were just a mess, but it worked out. We ended up with 12 of those out of that bowl there. I can't remember how big that bowl is. I think it's a 2-quart, but I'm not sure. But Jeff was getting me some cheese, so I didn't have to. It's cheddar jack. Oh, that helped. Anyway, he was getting me some cheese, so I don't have to keep reaching in the bag. And by then, we were both hot, so we had gotten a fan, so sometimes you might see the foil fly up a little, but that's because we had to have a fan. Our kitchen is a galley kitchen. I do have some videos where I've actually been cleaning and cooking in there and stuff, and you'll see that it is very small. You can see just there how wide it is. It's not wide at all. But we've actually had all 4 of us in there at the same time doing things, and it works well. You just have to learn how to dance together. That was one that was a mess, and he ended up eating it. And that's when he found out he likes the way it was that time instead of the way that I've been doing them. I guess he liked the black beans better. Okay, and this is where I was fighting to try to put the onions in the bag an easier way, and it just didn't work because it didn't have the little green things anymore. It's just about time for the video to be over, and we are almost done, and we're both tired and our backs hurt, and we're just like done with the cooking for today. So I was just trying to get those onions in the bag, and they were not cooperating. Okay, I had forgot to put this part in, but I'm just going to add it now. This is where we were doing the lazy man lasagna, and right now I'm just cutting up some pepperonis into quarters and putting it in with the noodles that are partially cooked. They're not completely done, but almost, and the ground beef that we cooked. I'm just adding that into that bowl, and I'm going to be showing you how I'm going to be mixing up the other part of it so I can put the two parts together. Okay, that was just cottage cheese. I just sped through it, but I'm going to be using about half of this tub for the amount, and he cracked me an egg, and there's Italian seasoning that I'm going to be using. Some Parmesan cheese and some mozzarella cheese is what's going to go in this bowl. It's pretty much the cheese and binder bowl with some seasoning. I don't measure really, I just do it to you know, whatever I think. But this is just the way we do our lazy man lasagna. I ended up with one 9x13 pan, and I'm not sure what size the other pan is, but it's not an 8x8, it's smaller than that. So you'll see it in a minute. But I just mixed all that together with, I ended up with 3 jars of sauce, but one of the jars I just put on at the end, on top. You'll see that though. He thought that that was not going to be quite big enough, but it was. And we also put about 1/4 of one of the jars. We put water in it, and then shake it up, and then pour it into the other jar and shake it up and put it in with the stuff, because like I said, the noodles are not completely cooked and you will need it, but he thought that I wasn't going to make it with that bowl. But that's the biggest one of the glass bowls that I have. And that was me checking my list to see what all we had left. And then we just wrap it with saran wrap too. If I was not putting it up for just a small amount of time, I would wrap it differently, but we're not going to have it in the freezer for very long, so we don't have to worry about that. But all you do whenever you're ready to cook this is you thaw it in your refrigerator, and if you don't remember and you don't thaw it, you just cook it for longer. But you just take the saran wrap off and you take the lid off and put it in the oven with a little foil on top. But that's us, or I'm just turning on the dishwasher, showing you that we had the kitchen back clean. We do have some clean dishes there, but otherwise there's no dirty dishes, and the counters are all cleaned up, and the stove is all cleaned up, and all we have to do is wait on the dishwasher to finish. So we got it all done. I marked it all off. That's what I'm doing now, is finishing it, but I couldn't get the marker open to it. I just got the pencil off the refrigerator and marked it all off, and we had all of the tasks done for that. And there's my sore finger.
The cold nights just don't feel the same. Oh, back my life inside a